Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd make a video today showing you how to make one of these leather knot planner charms for any book or planner that you have. I'll run through the supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need the 2mm leather cord. You're going to need a spacer bead and charm of your choice, as well as an end cap and a jump ring. You're going to need some pliers to attach it all, as well as some glue. And then you're also going to need an insert or book in the size that you want to make it. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this as quickly but informatively as possible because I have my lights going and they're actually quite warm and my hands are sweating and it's making it really hard to tie the knot. So hopefully, I've tried to do this once, but I got too sweaty. That's so gross, isn't it? Okay, I'll be quiet. Okay, so yeah, the first thing you're going to do is tie a knot in the end. And you're going to take your two fingers and your thumb and just kind of secure it, pinch it together. You're going to loop this around 3 times, pinching each time. So that's 1 loop, 2 loops, 3 loops. One trick for this whole process is you're going to want to make sure that these all line up neatly next to each other. That will make the knot, the knot nice and round and tight. So that's just a little trick. So now you got your 3 loops there. You're going to do another 3 loops around. So you're going to come through this little triangle hole here 3 times. So 1, again pinching to keep it in place, 2, and again making sure that these stack up nicely on each other. Hope it focuses there. 3. Okay, so now you have those 3. And then I just want to make sure the camera's focusing here. Okay, so now you're going to do another 3 loops through the middle. So you're going to go through the hole under your index pointer finger here. So you're going to go through the top, and then you're going to come out through this bottom hole here. So that's 1 loop. You're going to go through the top hole, bottom hole. So that's 2 loops, top hole, bottom hole. All right, so that's your third. You're going to do the top through the top to secure it. And push it over, like I said, to make sure they all line up. Okay, so now you've got your 3 loops all the way around. And from this point on, you're going to work on tightening up the knot. So you're going to flip it back over. And this is where I don't want sweaty hands. Okay. So you're going to grab this piece with your opposite hand between these 2 fingers. Use your thumb to hold it in place here. Now you want to push this end part with the knot up into this little hole to secure it. It's good to have a toothpick or something sometimes to make sure that you get it in there. And you're going to want to pull this top loop to make sure it gets in there. So you can see it's tucked up inside. You're going to shimmy these over just to make sure it doesn't pop out. So now you've got this back loop that's the longest, and it's where it's secured by the knot inside. So if you see that I tug it, it's not coming out. So the best way that I can explain this is the whole process of this is just tightening one loop, one string, following it along, and just keep following it and following it. It's easy if you don't follow the one string to get lost in where did I start, where did I end. So if you just continuously follow one string, it's pretty easy. You should be able to do it. Okay, so we have it secured by the knot in the center. So we're taking our one loop, one string, that's secure, so we're going to tighten it. So to tighten it, we can only go in one direction, right? Because our knot is preventing us, right? So we're going to go down to close this loop. So we're going to push this down. So to close the loop, you can push down or you can pull, right? So once you start pushing, you see what loop that you want to pull. So you can see it moving there, right? So by pushing it down, I see the loop I'm working with. So I know it's this loop and I'm going to want to pull here. So I pull that tight. Now you never want to pull so tight that your knot comes out here. That you want to make sure you're pinching this in place. So you're pulling this tight. Okay, so that's tight. So now you know you have to tighten this bottom loop. This one's way out of place. So you're going to push up because you know it's tight from over in this direction. You can't pull any more from that direction, so you're going to work in this direction. So you're going to push up. So by pushing up, you can see your next loop that you're going to work with. Okay, so you're pushing up. You see the loop that you're going to work with, so you can pull up now that you've identified that loop. So you pull up, pull as tight as you can go. Now we want to tighten this big loop. So we've got it as tight as we can go in this direction. So we're going to push down again. Pushing down, we're identifying what loop we're working with. Push down, so it's this loop. So we're going to pull it down to tighten it up. So now this loop's big, and we know that it's as tight as it can go in this direction, so we're going to push from this direction. We only have one loop left, so we're seeing where we're working, so we're pushing, so we know we can pull from that direction. Now, at the bottom, just make sure you can see. You can see that it might have crossed over a little bit, so you're just going to want to push that in place to make sure that they all line up. There, and once you pull it tight, it'll go much easier. Okay, so now we're going to tighten this big loop. We know we've got it as tight as we can go in this direction, so we're going to push down. And there we go. There you can see that we've got the top 3 loops tightened. Now we've got this big, huge bottom loop. So we know that we've made it as tight as we can go in this direction, so we're following it along. We're going to push here. So we're pushing here. Let's see if you can see. Pushing here, you can see where that loop starts to move. So you're going to push. Once you've identified the loop, you can start to pull. You're going to pull that guy tight. Now we know we've got it as tight as we can go in that direction, so we follow the loop along. We're going to push in this direction. So we're identifying what part of the knot we're working with, so we can start to pull instead of push. Pull it tight. As tight as it can go. Now we're going to push. And we can start to pull. Now you want to make sure that you're constantly squeezing the knot just to get a good circle shape. Alright, so we've got it as tight as we can go in that direction. Now we're going to push. Start pulling it through, tight as we can go. Push. So you can see that it's really starting to take shape. and you're just constantly working just the one loop. As tight as it can go. Push from the bottom. Tight as it can go. Push. Now you can see here, this part here, once I push here, I don't know if you can see, it's coming from the back. So you're going to push, and then once you've got the loop, you can start to pull. Pulling as tight as it can go. Tighten the big loop by pushing from the front, identifying the loop, pulling to tighten, and then pushing from the back. Identifying the loop, pulling to tighten, pushing. So you just keep following this process until the very end. Took me a little while to learn this. And I believe it's some kind of like fishing knot. So if you ever spent time on a boat, maybe you already know this. Alright, so we've reached the very end. We can pull this last piece to tighten. Sorry, I've got a bunch of hairs from this carpet here. So yeah, as you can see, we've got our little monkey knot, and you can kind of just squish it a little bit to get that round shape if it's just a little out of place. But don't hesitate to untie it and retie it if it's not how you would like. Okay, so now we have our knot. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your spacer bead. You can also get these at Michael's. You're going to put that on so your knot just holds it in place there. Grab your insert, loop it in the front, in the back. See how much space you would like dangling from the bottom. That works for me. So what you're going to do, you could tie a little knot through this jump band if you like. Personally, I like to use an end cap. I think it looks just a little bit more finished. So I'll show you how to do it that way. So you're going to take a little piece of glue, I guess not a piece, a little dot. And a little goes a long way, and personally I really like this Gorilla Glue. Put it on the end there and just slide your end cap on. There you go. So that's how it looks so far. Don't mind all the hairs everywhere. This was probably a poor choice of backdrop. So we're just going to let that dry for a second. It doesn't take very long. So today I'm going to go with this cute little panda clip. So you take your jump band or jump ring, hold it in place with your pliers, grab your charm, loop it through, grab another set of pliers, hold it in place, close it up, and there you go. A cute little monkey fist planner page marker. So let me know in the comments if you do this, how it turned out, how many tries you had to do it before it turned out. I'm not gonna lie, it took me quite a while to learn it, but I was determined to learn it. So yeah, I hope that you found that helpful. I hope that it was at least in focus and you could understand what I was trying to say. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. I can't talk. Have a great day. Bye.